It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
Focus on experiences rather than things.
Yeah, for sure. I think what's so interesting, you talk about that hedonic treadmill where you buy a new thing, a new doodad, and it's real shiny and exciting to start with. But as time goes on, you get less shiny, less excited. Here's what I found about memories. I go on a trip or I do something with my kids and it's awesome and I love it. Now it's euphoric.
Right.
And then as time passes and I reflect upon that thing, it actually gets better with time. I think about that memory or I think about that experience or I think about that thing. It actually gets sweeter and more enjoyable the longer I'm able to reflect upon it.
And there's actually something to that in the fact that a lot of research shows that as we age, all of your memories, because I was going to say something, but you're a better man than me, Bo, because sometimes when you go on vacations, especially with little itty bitties like you have, there's actually a lot of just junk that you put up with. The kids don't feed themselves, they don't potty themselves, and you are the one taking care of them.
They poop by the pool?
But there's enough good stuff. Well,
that
it's not that. Well, but you have to put swimmers on them.
Oh,
you have to make sure,
sunscreen every 4.5 minutes.
Sunscreen. The way you have to pack the car where you almost need a U-Haul trailer to cover all the things. All these things. But here's you just nailed it though, is that a few years goes by and you look back and you go, man,
I remember my daughter
awesome.
jumping in for
that
the
was
first
sweet.
time.
I remember doing the first few swims I had with my daughter. I remember when she learned to swim. All the negative stuff goes away. It's a beautiful thing with memories. Now compare and contrast that to your goods, your things, your big, beautiful house. When I go, Bo, when you look at real estate, we live in a great part of the country. We live here in the Franklin, Brentwood, Tennessee, which is a suburb of Nashville. If you want a deal, if you want a deal, you want land and a deal on a house, you have to go look at these mansions that are 25 to 30 years old. So because they'll have land, they'll have a big exterior, but then you look at the pictures and you go, ooh,
that was about 40 years ago.
What were they doing? did they that shag carpet?
Wow.
It was some crazy stuff, and that's the thing that your possessions, your goods that you're buying, they age, they deteriorate.
That's right.
Your memories get better, your experiences get better in your memory, but then the stuff is just falling apart.
That's exactly right.
Also, this is something that I'm about: eager anticipation. If you think about money and when buying experiences over goods, just the part like when I do an annual golf trip with my buddies. We have so many discussions about when we pick out a house. We'll either pick on the guy who showed us this house because that's what guys do, or we'll talk about how awesome it is. We'll talk about where we're going to play golf. We'll talk about how many strokes this person's get. It's the anticipation. It's the same thing with my family. When we go to a Disney trip, my wife, we have so many conversations at night talking about all the ways we're going to do. Which park are we going to go to this day? Which restaurants do we want to try to get reservations for? All of this and that's good. That's healthy. A husband and wife, a couple talking about this trip. That stuff is fun. So it's the eager anticipation that can be just as powerful in building memories as just the event itself. That's powerful. And then here's the thing I think is great. If you were one of these guys that or girls who right after college, like my buddies, right after high school, they drove west. They went remember I grew up in Georgia.
Like camping?
They did 2 road trips in high school, right after high school while they were in college. One, they drove out to California and then drove back to Georgia. It was a cross-country trip.
Wow.
Another one, because that one went so well, they drove from Georgia up to Alaska. I kid you not, from Georgia. And here's the thing. I know the ugly bruises and the underbelly of what went wrong on these trips because they had a car blow up, they lost an engine, they had to get somebody to drive another car up to them. It was some horrible stuff. But can I tell you, to be honest with you, I didn't get to go. These are my best friends in the world. I didn't go on those trips because I had to earn money. I worked.
Yeah.
I look back on what I made those summers, which was probably around $1,000 a summer.
Yeah.
Who's the fool in this situation?
Yeah.
I will just be honest with you. Who is the idiot in this situation? I should have jumped in the car, stayed at the KOA sites at night with them, and done these cross-country. I'm kind of getting bothered thinking about this. And this is the thing is that every one of them, and I can share all the experiences in the world with them because we grew up since we were 5 years old, graduate high school together. we could get together, we're thick as thieves, but when they bring up the cross country to California, the cross country to Alaska,
you're left out of that.
I don't have those experiences. Yeah. And guys, here's the thing I want to tell you. If you don't come from money, but maybe you were, because like some of my buddies, they were the Eagle Scouts that hiked the entire Appalachian Trail. You want to know what an equal, because you know what, there's a lot of rich people that is like their life goal is to go hike the Appalachian. So my buddies, we don't come from money, but they let somebody know that they hiked the Appalachian Trail.
Opens doors.
They were like, holy cow, because here's the thing. It doesn't matter if they did it for, $200 or $400, $1,000. Nobody knows how much you paid for your experience. There's no way to compare. Whereas I can go compare how much you paid for your house, how much I paid for mine, and we can put something with that. Goods you can compare. Experiences, you cannot compare who paid what. So it's amazing how when you share the ability to go out there and form community, form relationships. Sure. I mean, there's a lot of power in focusing on experiences rather than things.
All right, so that's the first one. First way to spend that makes you happy.
That one was deep, and I think it really kind of put an exclamation point on why it was important.
Love it.